Well, hello, good evening, and welcome again. It's me, and me, it's Joy. Joy Ruffin coming to you from the Sunshine State, and it is always good to be with you. It's Tuesday night. So, Tuesday night is Style with Joy, your joy, how you discover your signature style and stamp. And let me just say right off the bat, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know that it is not the best time to be here. And that said, I'm always delighted when we look out and we see that you're here. We're going to have a really fun time tonight, and I hope that those of you who are here will participate because we're going to talk about something that, oh, it's a touchy subject because we're talking about fashion and we're talking about style. And that said, we're going to talk about good signature style and how you stamp that style to you. So we're going to be covering a lot of territory, and I hope that you will participate. If you're here for the first time and you're watching the replay, please type in hashtag replay so that I'll know that you were here. And if you're not on my page now and you want to make a comment, just click on the link and you'll be directed straightly here. And before we get going, oh, we love it when you share. Sharing is fun. Sharing is love. You must know and have people in your circle, within your tribe, who enjoy and love fashion and style as much as you do. So as the kids say today, hook them up and let them know that we're here every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock and invite them to come. And if you have questions, we're happy to answer them. We're going to cover a lot of fun territory tonight. Basically, it's going to be my sharing and speaking with you. It's not going to be so much slides because I only have, I think, about 4 or 5, because I want to talk to you about taste, because taste is an individual thing and it's going to be different for everyone. So I want you to keep that in mind. And as we get going, conjure up questions that you have and what you think and what taste, having good fashion taste, means to you. And my friend, if you have not received your complimentary ebook, which is the beginning stages of what fashion signature style is all about, please just sign up for it. Just put in the link, just click that you're interested and you'll get the complimentary ebook. And also, before we get going, I have a group. It's Style with Joy. It's on my Facebook business page. And I'd love it if you would join me there, because over time, we're going to be adding in a lot of different things that will benefit you on your journey to style. And for those of you who know me, you know that technology is not my strong suit, and yet I just continue to pursue it because I do love it. But it's a foreign entity for me. And I did a webinar. It was a beautiful disaster. But yet you learn as you go. So we'll be doing another and changing it up a little bit. But when we do, we're going to be inviting you again. It'll be a free webinar, and it will be all about the 5 essentials to discovering your signature style and how you can do it. Because again, we're talking about taste, and taste is a very individual thing. You know that we have the 5 different categories of style, fashion style, and under those will be several other subcategories. I have the 5 basic major ones, but when we get to know each other, we meet each other one-on-one, you might cipher off into another category that I might not have listed. We work in that category because the main concern is that you're comfortable with your signature style and it projects and portrays you in your best light. That's the best thing that we can offer you. And that's what we're offering you here with Style with Joy, your joy. My website page is always open and available to you so that we can start there. So my friend, let's go here and let's talk about style, good taste defined in the 3 words. Let's start off with the 3 that are the foundational, pivotal points for all fashion signature style and how you stamp it to you. And that is balance, harmony, and grace. Now, words are fascinating, and a lot of people are going to say, well, balance and harmony are pretty much the same thing, and grace, what does that kind of mean? Well, let's define that somewhat for you, because balance has a lot to do with evening things out where it's proportionally, and that's the other key word, proportionally right for you. And the other key word that we want to use is a word that's popular now that you'll understand, is that it's something that scales to you and your body shape. It fits in. It's not a distraction. It glorifies your body and it allows your body to shine and project outward in a way that's complementary and the highest light for you. That's good balance. And you cannot have signature style without that. And then let's talk about harmony. Harmony is a pleasing arrangement of parts. It's the quality of being suitable and appropriate for you and your outfit. It has to do with coordination and compatibility. It means that it has to blend and match in with your look, your image, your style. It has to be tying back into balance, proportionately right for you and your body shape. That's why it isn't enough just to say, I'm a pear, I'm an apple, I'm a rectangular, whatever. You have to really know, because each of those 5 body shapes, the apple, the pear, the rectangular, the hourglass, and the inverted triangular, they have all different components depending on your size, your shape, your height, your ethnicity, and all the other variables. So the balance, the proportion, the harmony, and the grace that you present for that body shape is going to be different for each. You line up 3 apples and they're all different heights, shapes, sizes. That balance, that proportion, and that grace and that harmony is going to be different for the 3. And these are the things, it isn't enough just to know it. You have to really dwell into the depths of it to understand your body proportion so that you know what's right for you and you harmonize whatever you're putting on it where it complements it in the best light. That's what it does when you have the right balance and the right harmony for your body shape and your fashion style. And that fashion style, again, it has its subcategories, but we're talking about dramatic, natural, sporty, classic, we're talking chic, and we're talking romantic. And under those 5 can be others, which we do on a one-on-one. But that's very good. And if you've not signed up for your complimentary, by the way, you should, because whatever you're struggling with the most, this is what we address. And you'll get enough data and information there that either you can go your way or you decide this is something I should pursue and go more into depth about. And that's something that we'll do. Grace happens to be one, you have how many children? Well, you don't have favorites, right? Not really. But you do have that child that you have a little bit maybe better rapport with. You have a wee bit better connection with, because that's part of the common, the lesson that they're here and you're here to learn and take from each other. And the same applies when I say to you, of the 3, balance and harmony, grace is my favorite. And favorite, I have to find another word. It's just the word that is the most impactful when it comes to your signature style and how you stamp it to you. Because grace, I'm not talking about the grace, it connects and it relates, but the grace as it's related to in the religious dogma. I'm talking about grace as it relates to the fit and the ease and the comfort and the lightness of those 3 components put together, so that whatever you have and whatever you're wearing, it's lightness and ease and grace for you, comfortable, but comfortable not in the traditional casual way. So that's what we want you to think about. I'm going to mention before we get going here a little bit about modesty. Because, and I'm not talking about modesty back in the biblical times, Edwardian times, and all the other times. I'm talking about modesty in today's time as it relates to the highest form of femininity and sexuality. Good evening, Michelle. How nice to see you. And Eloisa, good to see you here always. Good to see you, my love. Good to see you. Always a pleasure. When I look out and I see people who are here that I haven't seen or heard from in a long time, it warms my heart. Great to see you, my love. What we're talking about is modesty and how it relates to how you project your image, your appearance, your presence. Now, those are 3 words that are related and connected again, but they have vastly different meanings, and we'll go more into depth about them. But that's what we mean when we speak to modesty. And when I speak to this, I'm going to talk a little bit about, I have labeled this. This is my original take, creativity. I'm going to speak to the two B's and the two D's. And you're saying, what the heck is she talking about? I'm going to speak a lot over time about the two B's. B as in the alphabet, A, B, B. And we're talking about the breasts and the buttocks. It has lots of other names, the backside, the tush, the derriere, and it goes on and on and on. But I label it the two B's for that reason. And we're going to talk a lot about it because it's so in the forefront today. And then we're going to talk about the two D's. And I'm going to leave that to your imagination for just a while. Because when I said two, but I meant three, they're old-fashioned words, but they're words that still apply, and they have deep significance, and they resonate with those women who are wise and on the branch of all of this newness that's coming about in the rulership and the femininity and sexuality of women. And that means your decorum, your deportment, and your demeanor. What do they say about you? How do they represent you before you even say a word? Again, the three are very much connected, and they have the same kind of meaning, and yet they're very different. And modesty, I'm going to start off by showing you this one slide. I don't have many slides, but I hope that you can see this. It's small, but I want you to see it because here is what it reads, if you can read it. Because before we get going in more into depth here, it says that dressing modestly is my way of telling the world I don't play by your words and your rules. I play by God's rules. Now listen, my friend, I am not the most traditional religious person that you're going to meet. There's no question about that. As we get to know each other, you'll discover that. Yet, I have no question mark about the relevancy and the depth of a belief that there is something much, much larger and bigger than all of us. So that said, wherever you take the modesty from, and I'm not talking about all covered up and wrapped up and everything hid, but today with the two B's being highly pronounced, and it seems that whether it's young or mature or older, that this is a way to announce that you are still vibrant and viable with your femininity and your sexuality by showcasing these two and letting that be the highlight of how you showcase your femininity. That's not where it's at. And this is just another example of that. Now, I'm not a prude by the widest stretch of the imagination. I'm not even old-fashioned. I'm old school, but not old-fashioned. I'm not one who is prudish and, oh my God, isn't that? No. But there is a certain amount of decorum, demeanor, and deportment, and a certain amount of grace that's allowed, that when you start to go into what's known as the 7 erogenous zones, and what you're seeing here, the breast, that's one of the 7, along with the N that's attached to it. There's no need to show this, because what I want, not those of you who are listening, because I don't think this would be you, but for those who come for the replay and you're viewing this, I want you to ask yourself, what is the purpose for displaying your breasts? And especially like this, when they're not appealing, because everybody likes beauty. Everybody, and I don't mean the traditional, Americanized, traditional, classic, blue eyes, nose, hair, blonde. I don't mean that type of beauty. Beauty comes in every shape, size, and color. But I mean beauty in the form of something that's appealing and attractive and appetizing. Well, what's appetizing, attractive, and appealing about this? And this is just a bad example, but there are a lot of women who wear who ought not to. And I just want you to start thinking, why do you feel you need to do this? Because it's just not necessary. There's no need to show. That belongs to you, your husband, your partner, your significant other, and the belonging of someone that you are deeply committed to, regardless to any other realms of questionable behavior. But that's not to be shown because it is an erogenous zone and it's not to be displayed in a way that brings that out. So what I'm asking you to do is simply to rethink why you feel that the two B's, the two beautiful B's, breasts, buttocks, no matter the shape, the size, color, height, all of that. But why does that need to be showcased? That's all I want you to ask yourself. Because if you're showing it because you want the attention and want it to, let's say, in a way, reference for you that you still have it, well, that picture that I showed you, if anything, it references that you don't have it. And it's sad. So I want more and more women because we rule and we rock and it's our time. And our time means that we stand in our power, we stand in our purpose, and we stand in our presence, which should speak to our greatness and our power, not denying it or belittling it in any way, which is what that does. And one of the things that you're going to hear me say and speak to, let me bring this over. I just want to show you this. This is just a before and after of someone who's just spruced it up a wee bit, kicked it up a wee bit, I say, kicked it up a notch because she's added a little bit of pizzazz. Here it's just super casual with just the top and the pants and whatever, but now she's put a beautiful little cape over it. She has a great bag and she has a little bit more of a sass to her. It's a great before and after how you can take, because one of the things that I want you to know is even when you dress down, you're the lady that when you do it right, you can still elevate and polish up that look and make it look very, very special. And this is just one of zillions of examples of how you can do that. It is possible in that regard. And then I'm showing you this for a reason. I want to solo this because I want to speak to this a little bit. I don't know about you, but I happen to be a happy, happy senior. And I see a lot of women around that the shapewear that they wear, it takes away from their sense of taste, if it's good, bad, or indifferent, or ugly, because there's no need for someone to wear that's on the far left here with the rolls and the lumps and the bumps. There's no reason for that. If you're going to wear something that's tight and fit it to your body shape, then get the right shapewear. Otherwise, you're denying and you're taking away all of the beauty that's a part of your look. Because you want a polished professional presence that speaks and aims to the best of your signature style and how you stamp it to you. And this does not speak to that. And it diminishes what you're projecting as the best of your femininity and sexuality. And by the way, let me just come in here and say this, my friend. No one, not anyone out there loves and appreciates and values the entertainment industry more than I do. Absolutely love it. Yet there's a vast separation because the entertainment industry in all of its different areas, departments, different arenas, different segments of the different areas that entertainment is involved in and with, it's a business, a big business that's evolved around sexuality, femininity, skin, and showing whatever it is there to show as far as femininity, and the two B's especially at this time. Not in everything, but in many, many films, movies, and other series of things that they do. And there are some celebrities that we all love, we adore. There's one that comes to mind right here and now. I'm not going to mention the name, but it's JL, and everybody knows her. And God bless her. She's beautiful. She's talented. She works hard to keep that body and to present herself and be a redeeming light for so many people. But she is an iconic entertainer that has nothing to do with the real world that you and I live in. That's a business that's not related to the business that most of us are in. And so what I want you to be thinking about is, how does that relate to the good taste, how you define the harmony and the balance and the grace of the look that you want to project. Her look is totally different. Now, this is the last slide I'm showing you, and I'm showing you this for a reason. And I had to chuckle there a little bit because I don't even remember where I got this from, and it's really not important. But everything is relative to the individual. But here's something that I want you to take a good look at, because nothing is blending and matching here. There is no balance here. There is no harmony, and there's certainly no grace here. Here's what I want you to be thinking about, and this applies especially today to shoes and jewelry, and especially earrings, because now that great big humongous earring with all the different with all the different fabrication and feathers and straw and designs of leather, I mean everything imaginable, I didn't bother to show because it's not important. They're humongous and they're huge, and if anything they're very distracting, and yet people wear them. I want you to start thinking about new, pretty, trendy, popular, current. But does that apply to you? Is that something for you? Does that fit your appearance, the image that you want to project? Does it give you the presence that you want? Because if it doesn't, you need to step back, reevaluate, rethink about what is that doing for you. Because these great big, huge, unless it blends, unless it balances out, most of the ones that I see, they don't. So bear in mind that you have to get these three unless you don't care. And if you don't care, I say, God bless. That's your arena to dance in. And so you should. But I don't really believe that we as women don't care. I think for numerous reasons, we have decided that it takes too much time, it takes too much energy. I don't want to waste this, that, or the other. It's really not fun. And I'm okay. I'm hygienically groomed. I'm put together. It's okay. But my friend, let me tell you, if you are in any way endeavoring to get out there into the circle of zillions of people, especially women, and you're going to start a lot of networking, you need to have a signature style that represents who you are. And when you walk upon that stage or into that room, you need to make it known, I'm here, I have arrived. And you can do it without being without the ego being the thing that people see most, because you're going to see your heart and that you're there and you're authentic, because that's what signature style and how you stamp it to you will do for you. So I just want you to be thinking about that. I want you to rethink. I'm going to highlight these again. I want you to rethink, review, and reevaluate, redefine, and refresh whatever the look is that you have. Because too much is going on here. The bag, the shoes. Oh, by the way, before I go anywhere, let me just tell you about shoes. Shoes and handbags, more so than your accessories, they would be the third thing, will distract and diminish your value as far as the look that you're attempting to get more than anything else. So be mindful of that. Be very mindful of how you assemble and put together your look. You want a polished, professional look that speaks to your presence, that speaks to your power. And this is just to show you the before and after when it's done in a very elevated, kick it up a notch type of way. And remember what I said to you about the two B's, the breast and the buttocks. We're going to be talking about that a lot one-on-one. And the question that I want you to be thinking about is, why do you feel that needs to be shown? There's no prude here. There's no old-fashioned, out-of-date person. But I do want you to start thinking about why. that's important and why you feel that you need to do that. I want you to just start thinking more and more and more about every time you go to select something and do something, what does it say as far as balance, harmony, and the grace of it for you and your body shape? And these words, some people will say, and one of my friends said, yeah, a little old-fashioned words. Well, old-fashioned is good. We got to find the middle of this, that, and the other. Your decorum, your demeanor, and your deportment kinship words, but different. That's important because you want to have a professional presence that speaks to the power and the greatness that is within you. And you cannot do it by just being, I don't care for these words, average and ordinary, dime a dozen. None of us are that. And yet, too many of us allow ourselves to fall into that fold. So I'm simply asking you to reevaluate, rethink what signature style is to you, and to ask yourself, do you have it? And are you gung-ho enough to go for it and to find it for yourself? I think you are. Because what is good taste? I want you to think about that before we end too. Good taste blends in those three. And it doesn't matter the size, the height, the weight, none of that other stuff. And it has nothing to do with money. I want you to remember this, because too many people think you have a lot of money. How many people do you know with gobs of money? And you say, oh my goodness, what happened there? Has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with designer labels, has nothing to do with your looks, really. Your body shape and how good or bad it is, and your education. Taste, good fashion taste, good taste period, has to do with those three elements. And that's what we want to refine and refresh for you. So that's enough for tonight. We talked about taste and we added a lot of good stuff in there. Here's what I want to end with, my friend, and that is relationships. Relationships are everything. How you build, good evening, good evening, good evening. I look down and I see friends. Good evening, Lisa. It's good to see you here. I love it when people drop in and drop by because I know how busy we are. Thank you, my love, for coming by. I love seeing you here. And my old friend, Michelle. Michelle, how lovely to see you. I want you to think about relationships. And I want you to think about relationships first. And Lisa and I had this conversation the other day about the relationship with yourself. That's the first strong, solid, heartfelt relationship that you build. I have spent all of these zillions of years working on a relationship with me, and I still have a long way to go. I have a long journey to still continue on. But you began there because until you get that inner journey with yourself in sync, that you're constantly on it to get better, 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 there is no relationship that you can truly build that's significant and long lasting with other people. So I want you to start thinking about that. And why am I ending with relationships? Because I've come across a new format that I happen to love. I don't know how many of you have taken every type of personality quiz that is available to you. I think all of us have done zillions of these. But I want you to take this personality quiz. It's called the Bank Code, and it will tell you the type of communication style you have. And once you learn that, you're going to discover the other three major styles. And as you begin to converse and talk with people, you're going to find out which one fits you best and how you are best able to communicate with them so that you are impactful. And it's a win-win for both of you. Isn't that what we all want? Doesn't matter whether it's a product or service that you're promoting, you want to be able to promote it in a way that connects to that other person. So what we're going to ask you to do, if you're interested, let me know. You can just say key, K-E-Y, and then you will be given a link that will take you to a page where you'll be able to take this assessment. It's free and it's safe. This is a joint venture for me. I'm not involved, but you know me enough to know that I'm not going to align you with anyone that's not reputable and safe, because we all need that as we move forward. So just key, and then you'll be able to take the assessment and see if it works for you. I think of all the ones that I've encountered, this is the best. Thank you for joining us. It's good to see you here always. It's always something that is going on. Now, tomorrow night, how many of you are fascinated, intrigued, and want to know more about multiple streams of income. Well, I do, because I'm just getting my wings ready to go here and flap and fly about. So I'm interested in exploring everything. And our guest tomorrow night is going to share a lot with you about how you can do that, a means and a way that's profitable and interesting. And she has, I'm not going to share it with you because I want it to be a surprise for you. She has something that she's going to offer to you that, oh my goodness, I don't like to say this, but you would be crazy to deny receiving it. So join us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. You know I love mystery, right? Like a little bit of intrigue here, there, and yonder. Join us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Same page, same station, my Facebook business page, 7 p.m. You're going to meet this lovely lady, and we're going to have fun discussing what multiple streams of income is all about and how you can benefit by being involved. Need I say, it's always good to see you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thank you for joining us. It's always fun to see you here. I know that it's not the best time, but when you drop by, I say, oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Bear in mind, you can get to my Facebook business page and get much more information. And like, tag your friends and let them know that we're here every Tuesday night at 7 and Wednesday night as well. And I can't wait to join you tomorrow night. It's going to be, as my girls say, it's going to be epic, and you're going to enjoy it. You have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whatever. We think global, we think big, but wherever you are, be well and take care. And we'll see you again soon tomorrow night. Until then, all the best. Cheers.